Hey yo, what's good, people? It's your boy Blunt here. I'm joined today with Mr. Lloyd Archer, and as you can see, Pete's not gonna make it. He's under the weather right now, so it's just gonna be me and Lloyd. Lloyd, what's good, man?
Hey, what's going on? Good to be here, man. Thank you for inviting me.
All right, listen, we got you back here because we know that this retirement thing is still going on, and people want to know. Ernest, what up? People want to know what's the latest news that you got for them to update them on what's happening?
I'll give them all the information that I have
All
presently.
right, all right, all right. So, where do you want to start? You want to start with it?
All right.
I know I know it's a couple of things that you want to talk about.
Yeah, it's a few things that I want to talk about, but the
Mhm.
most important is that the city is going to court on a Bronkowski. That's hard for me to pronounce that name. Bronkowski case. If they win that case, I know if they win that case, then it would look good for our case. Uh, it kind of stops the city permanently from putting the retirees in New York City in Medicare Advantage. So um, we would hope that our judge, would piggyback on that ruling and give us a good decision, which we know that the Transit Authority is going to appeal it. So
Mhm.
Thursday we'll be in Albany, and I'll report back as soon as we get a decision from that.
Right. Well, forgive me for my manners here, but just to rehash, because it's always new people that's watching,
Right.
and they just don't know who you are or what you're doing. So you want to give them a brief thing about yourself.
That's easy. I
Mhm.
worked for New York City Transit Authority from 1989 to 2015. I've been retired 10 years. I was also officer of the union from 2001 to 2009. I was a division vice chairman, TA Surface, uh, under Roger Tucson. A lot of people afraid to say that, but it's my opinion, he was an excellent leader, you know, and he put things in place to protect us retirees.
Mhm.
But I got pulled out of retirement once the union forced all the retirees in Medicare Advantage. Instead of leaving us alone, we were in traditional Medicare with the supplement paid by the Transit Authority.
Okay. And that the group that you're in is TWU 100R
Yes,
Incorporated, not to be confused.
please don't.
What's
Don't
the other one? TW 100. What is it?
TW100R.org, or you can go onto our Facebook page, TW100R on Facebook, and you can see some videos. You can donate to the cause. You can also, if you're having a problem, you can download an affidavit and submit it to us. The address is on that website where you can submit the affidavit. Uh, and I'm a little repetitive with myself to submit an affidavit, even if your your doctor or your drugstore gets the prescription thing filled. That at first, let me go back.
Mhm,
It
mhm,
denied your prescriptions, and then it gets fixed. You can still file an affidavit. Like I always say, the crime was committed. All right, and that shouldn't have happened from the beginning. And I just want these you guys that just retired to think, not to think that this can't happen to you.
mhm.
So just keep up with what's going on. We have a phone number also on the website that you can call. I'll probably answer, but that's basically it.
Okay. So, I was just thinking on the fly here when you said that I should have had a banner for that. So I
Okay.
had to create it while you was talking.
Um,
All right. Yeah.
Another thing. Well, I'm gonna let you go ahead and then I'll chime in.
Okay, so one of the things that a lot of people don't understand is that even though the retirees, you guys going through it, even though I'm in the fight as well, but even though you guys are going through it, that this is starting to affect the active members as well. And I think that the more active members get involved, the better it is for our case. Either way, even if they're not being uh, hurt in any way or having any issues, you can still fight the fight with us. You know, it. I don't know if they're feeling like they're gonna have some kind of retaliation against them or something like that. But it's like the more you talk to people, the more they don't know what's going on, and that's it's kind of frustrating because you put out uh, information all over social media,
Right.
and it's like still nobody. And then when you guys have a email list, right? That you email
We
people.
sure do. We sure do. We send emails out for any events that we're having. Just to say something about the active members.
Mm-hmm,
Um, you as well as I do, because we work side by side with this. A lot of them do not know exactly what's going on. All right,
mm-hmm,
and I'm going to personally blame their section officers for
mm-hmm,
not talking to them about.
mm.
It.
Right. You go to you went visiting depots the other day, right?
Yes, I did. I went to Jackie Gleason and I dropped off some of our cards. I respected the chair. I let them know I was there, told them what I wanted to do, and I gave them out. And speaking to people, they didn't even know what's really going on. I don't
Mm,
know if these chairmen are afraid, and most of these chairmen, if I'm correct, can retire soon.
mm,
So I would be up in arms, but to save face, this is my opinion, they keep it quiet. And I charge them to at any time to let's talk about it. I mean, if you're not afraid, then why aren't you speaking out? Why don't your active members know exactly what happened to the retirees? And telling, and you should be telling them you're gonna retire one day. You should be involved in this fight.
exactly. Exactly. I mean, I was surprised when I heard one of my friends who has a good spot, where he can do some heavy lifting for us, had to decline because of the new president, which was surprising to me because you know you came in on a certain promise and you're not gonna fulfill it because I don't know what the reason is, but
Well,
whatever.
it's a friend of yours. I respect him, but he could have came out in the crew room with me because there was people there and introduced the guys to me and let me talk to them. But
Right.
again,
Yeah.
you sit back and you have nothing to say about this.
Hmm.
You know it's wrong. So what do they say? Silence is what? You're just
Complacent. You complacent. Yeah.
complacent, exactly. So
Hmm.
you're silent about it. So you must be all right about it, or you worry about retaliation.
Yeah.
You
And,
know
and and let me just clear this: it's not just my friend; it's all these depot chairs
exactly,
that can be doing it. They
exactly.
know what's going on. Why not speak to your constituents? They the ones who voted you in. Even if there's, even if they're not having a problem, it's good to make them aware of the situation so they don't walk around ignorant.
Yeah, because I stayed in that depot a couple of hours. I went down in the yard. Got stopped by in the yard because a lot of guys still remember me from when I was working. And before I know it, I was talking to 10 guys that
Hmm.
didn't know what's going on. And some of them would get ready to go. I
Right.
explained to them it may not affect you right now, but if you get sick, you're gonna have to go to the doctor with this Aetna, right? A lot of doctors are opting out of Aetna. They don't want to be bothered with it. And Medicare Advantage, forget about it.
Hmm.
and they were pissed off, and they had nothing good to say about the union, which I don't blame them. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah. So hold on one second. What up, Big Hop? How's it going? Judy, give me a second. I'm gonna post it after we finish this. Joey, what up, Vasquez? Oh, look at Joe. Joey's.
yeah, I seen them,
Oh, Joey Vasquez, y'all says all bunch of sheeps following JP and company. Ah, man, that's I I can't even defend that, man. Y'all know I'm a JP fan, but I can't defend that. Like,
but
you
you
know, I
mentioned
mean,
his name. Me and JP go back from years.
hmm,
The one that got me involved in Local 100, I
okay,
think was back in '98. We were raising hell. Now this guy is such a disappointment. I don't know what the reason is, and he knows this is wrong. He knows this is wrong, and he won't step up. I think they don't want to step out of place because they don't want to lose their staff jobs or what's going on. When Richie Davis attacked me, if you're my friend, why didn't you speak out about that? So I have no respect for them anymore. None.
I feel you. I just hope that I always have hope, because I kind of feel like these are good people, and at some point they'll just come around and just we're not. It's not like we're asking them to do anything out of pocket.
Right.
It's just to let the members aware of what's going on. That's basically it. And it's not like we're fighting for to bring the company down and shoot them out of millions or trillions of dollars. We're just fighting for the option to get Medicare, traditional Medicare back. If
Absolutely.
you not having a problem with the Medicare Advantage, fine. Keep it. We're not trying to take that away from you guys. We just want the option for people who are having problems to say, hey, this ain't work for me. Let me go back to traditional Medicare because of the problems that they're having. What gets me upset about this whole situation is you'll have high elected officials going out and having shop gates and trying to explain that there's nothing wrong with it when there is. There is. You could go to the YouTube page. You see a couple of testimonies of TW100R of people who are having serious problems. Serious problem. There was a post the other day about a guy who was having some kind of treatment. I forgot if it was cancer or something,
It was cancer. I remember. Yes.
and he got denied. He got denied or delayed service for his condition. That
Yeah.
don't happen on traditional Medicare. These for-profit companies, they only about one thing: is that bottom line. They don't care about you.
Yeah, and I just want to clear one thing up also. I am not suing. We are not suing the union. We are
Right.
suing the leadership of Local 100 and the MTA
Right.
because the leadership should have known better than to even open the contract up with us in the contract because there's a stipulation that
There
was
you go.
back
Hmm.
in 2002 or 2005, I believe. And it says that the union and management would meet quarterly to make sure that the medical benefits will not be diminished.
Hmm.
And if they need to get another provider, that they should negotiate for a provider.
Right.
Oh,
And that would be on equal or better terms. It can never be diminished. And
exactly.
that was for lifetime.
Right, exactly.
So listen, guys, take a screenshot. This is part of the stipulation right there. Take a screenshot and you can zoom in and read it for yourself. That's part one. Ready? Here comes part two in three, two. Okay, that's part two. You can see the signatures there. Lawrence Rudder and Mr. Toussaint back in '03.
So
And
they
also,
go ahead.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say also there's two videos of TW100R on their YouTube channel where Roger goes into great detail about this whole medical thing, along with the misconceptions that he's constantly hearing about the strike. So it's something that you guys should really look into.
Yeah, you should take time out just to listen to that. He
Mhm.
explains everything that happened. Um, so and what kills me, this new president, Chiarillo, is just as bad as just as guilty as Richie Davis is, because he let the cat out of the bag when he was in the shop gates, telling us,
Mhm.
um, yeah, I got $2 million for your eyeglass. I got five
Mhm.
million dollars for your dental. I got this for that and this for that. Where do you guys think that money came from?
Mhm.
They are not negotiators. What they did was took the retirees' medical supplement away from them to give you guys the 3 million for the eyeglasses,
Mhm.
the 2 million for the dental, and said to hell with the retirees. A
Mhm.
real union does not give up its retirees, and unfortunately, that's happening all over the city of New York. That's
Yeah.
that's why Marianne Pizzatola is fighting the way she's fighting.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm glad you said that because a lot of people think it's just the MTA thing and it's not. This is happening citywide, just like Tier 6 is a citywide thing. You
Right?
know, it has to be legislated. And so that's why Thursday we're going up to Albany to sit in with what's his name? Bronkowski?
Bronkowski, yeah, on the Bronkowski case.
Why that name sounds so familiar?
He's on. Well, I think I think in our case, it may be his name may be mentioned a couple of times in some affidavits.
I don't know. I kind of feel like it was from one of those Disney movies. Always watching. I don't know. But yeah, yeah, this is it's a serious matter. So and then we do have so you guys at TW 100R Inc. Right? You guys been going to having in person meetings. I know it slowed down a little bit for the holidays. Are there any more plans for in person meetings? I know you're going to be doing a social a virtual meeting
Right,
online
right.
coming soon.
May 31st, there'll be a YouTube meeting online. TW100R we'll be presenting things to people. We'll be trying to educate them on how to file an affidavit. I'll update you guys on this court case. We should have a decision by then from the city's court case, and we'll let you guys know what's going on. And I'm just gonna have to say this because I'm a little perturbed that I'm not, more people are not getting involved with this. Even the retirees, they're kind of backing off. And I'm going to thank everybody for all the donations because, again, the lawyers don't work for free. I don't
And
have
we need. Mhm.
I don't have the money to give them. None of us retirees on this committee have the money to give them. So
Mhm.
it's up to it's up to the retirees that's getting hurt by this, or
Mhm.
the people that's gonna retire one day.
Yeah, that's why it's important if the active members get involved now. You could donate a little here and there to help this case out because it's only going to benefit you in the future. If you have that option, first of all, you guys need to think about this. You've been paying into FICA since you started working, right? FICA is what? Social Security and Medicaid. You've been paying into that since you started working. Right now, from what they did to you guys, when you retire, you're not getting that. So where's that money going? And you're still paying into it, right? If you look on your check, they still should be taken out for FICA, but you're not going to get traditional Medicare and Social Security because they put you into this Medicare Advantage. So where's that money going? Why are you paying for something that you're not going to get? Now you think about all your life since you started working, you've been paying. That's a lot of money that's owed to you. You know, it's you deserve it. and they taking that away from you. Why not just at least have the option to get what you paid for? I just don't understand why people don't understand that part.
I don't know. You got a lot of people behind the scenes talking about us, the TW100R, because I had a guy call me and he said that he went up to the union hall and asked them why they changed because he just turned 65 and went to the doctor, and the doctor told him that he's not taking, he has cancer actually, that we don't accept that. So he didn't give me a name, but somebody told him, "Are you listening to Lloyd Archer? He's a troublemaker. Don't listen to him." But
Mhm.
that's fine. I know they're listening and they're watching everything I post, everything I write. Um, but this shows you guys that they don't care about the retirees. They figure out a way to get you guys, the active guys, money in at any means necessary. They're not negotiators. If you destroy a retiree's health benefits like that, and the TA is saving $73 million a year just by doing this. So we need you guys to get involved. I'm going to through this show. You're going to hear me saying that over and over and over again.
Hmm. Definitely need everybody to be involved in this. So I'm trying to reply to a
And
text here.
on another note, um, I I've been holding back, but Anita Clinton is one of our members, and she was downtown,
Hmm.
and she ran into Mr. Kemp and Tony Utano in the restaurant, and she said Tony Utano act like he saw a deer he looked like a deer with in headlights. Tried to meet the gentleman, walked over to her, spoke to her, and she spoke to him, and she asked her, "What are you guys going to do about this Medicare Advantage?" So he invited her to meet. So she came back to the committee, and we said, "Fine, we'll meet up at the Union Hall with the top four officers and people from the executive board." We actually sent them a letter. I forgot what date the letter is.
Put it
Um,
up there.
there's the letter. All right,
17.
the 17th, no reply, no reply. So by him not replying, he was just blowing air, blowing smoke. Or Tony told him, what are you crazy? You can't do that. We can't have these people come up there. It's not going to change anything. Now, the statesman that he is, I would think he would at least reached out to somebody. He has my number. He has the number to the organization too, to explain
Mhm.
to me or explain to us why we couldn't get a meeting. Not that it's going to change anything.
Right, but just sit down and talk. You hear us out. That's just hear us out. Just hear us out. It's not going to change the world. You you not. I mean, for those of you who may be thinking about retaliation, you're not you're not promising us nothing. We just want you to sit down, show that you care, show that you're involved. At least you want to make sure that even let's say just say let me put it like, even if Lloyd is lying, which it's ridiculous, but even if Lloyd is lying, go to the YouTube channel, look at the testimonies we have. Go to TW100R on Facebook. Look at the different comments and things that because we got a lot of keyboard warriors that are out there, and they're fully pissed at what's going on. You don't hear about it because you're not on the page, you're not reading the comments and stuff like that. But they place comments all the time. It's like pulling teeth to get affidavits from them, but they place a comment quick. And you know, if you're having a situation, any kind of situation that involves having your um, service delayed, having your prescription prices just jump up out of nowhere, or at the very worst, having your service denied, you should be contacting us to fill out an affidavit. That's one of the least things we're asking. because that helps the court case. Because you got, uh, I believe it was Aetna that came to court and said
They don't have any denials or delays. They do not deny any coverage or they don't delay any coverage. And
right,
that was the biggest lie that they told, um,
bold face.
you know,
Yeah.
and because this is happening all the time. It's
What up? What up,
Go ahead.
Primo? So I wanted to discuss this with you because when we went to Florida to talk to the chapter down there, none of them really knew what was happening neither, right? But the atmosphere was just different, right? Even though they didn't know what was going on, and they have this liaison that actually helps them with their problems, which was a surprise to us. But uh, okay, it's like okay,
Right.
they were still interested, and they sat steadfast listening, and they asked questions,
Exactly.
and they're all motivated to help. Now, the reason why I say is different because up here we keep talking. We say this motto all the time: an injury to one is an injury to all, right? But down there they live by that motto.
Uh,
They were energized about hearing what we was doing. We got invited to come back to speak at a bigger function, and it was it was a breath of fresh air to see that because even when we up here we have a live meeting, you have one or two that's against what we're saying. It's like how you against what we're saying? We're not presenting you any lies. You can see this stuff for yourself. Talk to your fellow
Tyrese.
coworker, yeah, retiree, and find out what's happening with them. You don't want to wait some of these stories that we have is heartbreaking. When you at the age when you're retired right now. What up, so where you shouldn't have to be dealing with this.
Exactly.
You know? You should be off living your best life, which is a T-shirt I made. Plug. But you should be living your best life. You don't want to be like none of these people on the committee want to be doing this.
Exactly. I could be
Another
my
fight,
grandkids, right? You
yeah.
know, but see, and then another thing that people don't realize with this that I was reading something that if you get back on on traditional Medicare in
Mhm.
some instances, if you're up there in age and you have a lot of things wrong with you and you need that secondary, a lot of
Mhm.
those insurance companies will not pick you up because they know that they're going to have to spend a lot of money on you. So they will not
Right.
pick you up. So why didn't you guys just leave us alone where we were at and we were fine. We were just coasting. We were fine,
Mhm.
having a good time. We went to that meeting in October in 23 and they just dropped it on us. They said I've been on Medicare Advantage since 2019. I said prove it. They sent me paperwork with somebody else's handwriting, and I'm not going to talk about that because that's part of court. But they full of shit,
Well, how many times when you're at a live meeting, right, and you ask people to pull out their card and they pull out the old traditional Medicare card,
right?
like they don't even know
No
that's not
good,
the right card anymore,
right? It's no good, and they don't
right?
know it.
Right, because what that happens is the doctor's office they'll see it and they'll take it, but they do what they for lingo to get it to the right coverage. I don't know why they just don't tell you that
Exactly.
that's not the right card. Like what are they hiding? Primo, what's good, man? Sosa, what is? Sosa says just sharing to us, man. Thank you, Sosa. Appreciate it. That's all we need right now. Oh, I got a question. Judy asked me a question a long time ago. Well, she asked you a question, which is a little bit off topic. That's why I didn't want to ask it just yet.
It's
Let me
cool.
see if I can find it real quick. Where is she at? There it is. There you go, Lord. You can answer this one.
What is
What do
this?
you think about tier six? What up, Richard? What's going on?
What do I think about tier six? It was I walked in the cold, so that wouldn't happen. I walked in the cold 2005, so that wouldn't happen. The minute we left office in 2009, 2010, John Samuelson gave it right up. It was called the Golden Parachute. All right. I don't have the flyer here, but there's the flyer there. And Cuomo was the architect of it. And he has the nerve, the gall to be running for mayor. And most of the city workers now in tier six, they did that to they so-called to save money. How are you saving money and you're paying into your pension out of your own pot, out of your salary? So again, if I was y'all guys, I would find another candidate to vote for. He's all handsome and everything, but he's a devil in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, I wouldn't vote for him because I just feel like he already had his chance and he blew it. It's
I
time for
want to
some new
answer your
blood.
question, sister.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we got um just so people who's just jumping in right now, we do have a I'm trying to think of the right word. It's a virtual meeting that we're having. So you guys, everybody could join. Let me just show the clip of it. Hold on one second, Lord. Let me
Go
give
ahead.
him
That's cool. Go
a
ahead.
little piece of that. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Let me do that over because I had Judy's comment all in the way. My bad, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm by myself here, man. Let me do it over. What up, Ron Springer? There you go. Listen, the 31st, 12 noon. If you haven't subscribed to TW100R on YouTube, subscribe now. Hit the bell for notifications. People say, "What's the bell about?" The bell is just to let you know that if TW goes live, it'll send a notification to your phone, or if a new video was uploaded, it'll send a notification to your phone, so you don't have to worry about going back to check to see if you miss anything. It will let you know. That's what the bell is about. But we encourage everybody, anybody who's watching this, just pique your curiosity. Come in, pop in, watch the meeting. If you have questions when the Q&A opens up, you can post them in the comments and they'll be answered. And you get a taste of what we do when we go live, when we do live meetings. Speaking of live meetings, we're still doing live meetings. We just need places to go. It doesn't matter where you at in the country.
Thank you, brother.
If you have if you have 20 or 30 people that you could get together to make it worth the expense of going, because it's not cheap traveling around the country, but you
Exactly.
know what I mean? If you got at least 20 or 30 people that's willing to get together and have us come out to talk to them, we can do that. Just give us a call or visit us on our website, or if you want to be part of the email, what's the email?
TW100R at gmail.com.
Okay, I'm gonna put that in a banner. Let me, where's it? There we go. Can I edit that? Yes. Okay. Email and join email at.
And I would like for guys, if you have any problems, when you do go to that website, there's a telephone number there. I'm going to look it up real quick so I can give it to you. Blunt can put it up. I'll probably be the one to answer the phone if you have any other questions after this. Um, I'll be happy to answer 929-247-7175. That's our dedicated line to answer any questions, help with affidavits. And if you're in Brooklyn somewhere and you need to do an affidavit and you're not sure, we have people that'll come to you and give you guys a hand.
TW100R at Gmail, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Um, wait, what's the number again? Hold on. 92.
929.
You know, I should know this, right?
That's all right. I don't know it. I'm looking at my phone. 929-247-7175.
2477175. Oh, it's too much. Damn, I gotta make another one. Okay. Two. Damn, I gotta make another one. Damn, I try to add it to this one. Mm. Be stingy with these.
And also, we do meet and greets in Brooklyn, also at 75 Henry Street. We don't know when the next one is going to be. We're trying to wait until after the court case. If you're in Brooklyn, we will be advertising that also, so you guys can come out. Like I said, you don't even have to be retired. You can come and get information and learn something. And ask your chairs and your vice chairs why this was done. You know, do they have the information on it? And I guarantee you, they'll sidestep it.
Sorry. Sorry about that. Click close this. There we go. Or call at 929. I'm behind, right?
929 247-7175.
Wait, what?
29 247 7175.
7175. Yeah, I looked off into the comments and I lost myself. All right. So we can do that. There we go.
Yes.
So
And
woo,
go ahead,
uh,
Blunt.
we got some comments here. Celso says, hold on, let me scroll down. I'm glad Lloyd and TWR ran with getting established in online against TW 100. I ended up losing my job because of my activism, and I'm still fighting them tooth and nail. Wish I had more people doing the same. So I think that's what the main problem is. A lot of people are feeling retribution like that. Like
Yes.
they don't want that. And he lost his job because he's an activist.
And that's a
I
shame.
think that I think that happened to in what's his name? In
Evangeline
no in damn in it's a guy's name with an E. He's very known for doing like activist stuff too, union stuff. Enrique. I
Enrique,
think that's
yeah.
what happened to Enrique too.
Enrique, yeah.
You
Yeah, they,
know,
they they scared them off. So with your active members sitting on this listening to this show, do you really want a union that can't take criticism from you? I mean, that is so ununion like. Uh,
right? I mean, you should if you're an elected official, you can't go into that job having a thin skin. You can't. You're gonna be criticized no matter what you do, no matter how good you do. There's always gonna be somebody that's against what you're doing. It doesn't matter.
exactly,
So, and you have to be able to roll with those punches. You know, that's just a sign of a. This is Lloyd. This is why I don't call them leaders. You know, people always say, "Oh, the union leadership." I don't call them. He could tell you. I say, "Yeah, they're elected officials. You got to earn that leadership from me.
exactly,
You can't
exactly.
just because people elected you doesn't mean you're a good leader. You have to get in the trenches and roll and see how that stuff comes out, and then you see how they react to it. And if they come out the right way, I'll be proud to say, yeah, he's definitely a leader.
And
But
it mainly happens in the OA because they're used to running that division like gangsters. And
I heard him.
fortunately, that's where my man Seltzer was from. He
Mm,
became an activist, and they set him up. In my opinion, from what I spoke to him about, a lot of times I spoke to him about what was going on, and they are afraid to say anything. Even in some places in TA surface, they're afraid to say anything. And a lot of times they keep reelecting the same chairman over and over and over again because that's my friend. I like him. He's not supposed to be your friend. He works for you. He works for you. He's not your friend.
Right.
Right. So all of that stuff because you got 400, 500 other guys in the depot that he has to take care of. And he can't just take you and six other guys. You have to
Right.
take care of the whole depot. And if he gets angry with somebody, he can't retaliate against he or she can't retaliate against him because I know that that's what goes on. Because
Mhm.
me being retired for 10 years, I still I still get phone calls from people. Unfortunately, I tell them there's nothing I could do. And nothing I could do about it. I direct them what to do. I don't know if
Mhm.
I follow up, but you know, and then they block that. So
Mhm. Yeah, it's crazy. Like we were supposed to have new union in there. We had a lot of people um, saying things like, "Oh, you're going to change the culture" and stuff like that. And some of it has definitely improved, but for things like this, the needle hasn't moved at all.
right,
We're in the same spot, and that's that. So we need active members. Active members need to get involved. Active members need to get involved. Do not wait until you have a problem, even though if that's what it is what it is. You fill out an affidavit and we could get that to the judge.
right,
Because you remember, like I said earlier, not only did the leader, the union elected officials go to court and say you guys are not having problems, but the drug not the health insurance company went there and said the same thing.
right.
So if we just give them 1,000, 2,000 affidavits of people who are having problems, it will fly right in the face of their lie, and the judge will be like, hey, "You said this, you said that, you came to court under oath, but look at this, I got over 1,000 affidavits." You know,
That says otherwise. And
it
and and
says otherwise.
yeah,
Exactly.
and something else that I didn't tell these guys is that
Mhm.
the union's lawyer even said on the record that the union does not represent or they have no obligation to, no, he said no obligation to retirees. So why the
Mhm.
hell did you negotiate and take our medical away if you have no obligation? Or you just telling us in so many words, we don't give a shit about the retirees. We could do anything to them. They can't vote. They can't. They can't vote. They can't. They have no voice. So we'll
Mhm.
do what we want to do to them. Same thing
Right.
with the city. Same thing with the city. They want to do what they want to do to retirees. We don't pay dues unless you join that retirees association where all they do is give you Cigna Dental that ain't shit. But um,
Yeah, I mean, for the retirees, if they ain't doing nothing for you, one I don't, you could take 1 month off and not pay them and donate the money to us, the TW 100R, so we can help get that lawyer paid and move the case forward. Because right now he's sitting on it because he wants more money,
right,
and we need as many to it. Does $5, $10, that's great if you can. Um, Sign up to be a reoccurring donator, once a month, every month. It just comes right out. That helps. That helps. But this court case is going to cost a lot of money. You know when you take the city to court, uh, 3 to 5 years minimum court case. Sorry, my phone blowing up. Oh my god.
Jose said, "What's up?
Oh, what up? What up, man? What's going on?
Yeah, let's go
So yeah,
next, man."
I know. So yeah, 3 to 5 years minimum. It's going to cost at least 300,000 to get through. Like you said, Thursday we got to keep an eye out. We let you know what's going on with that because the
Gronkowski
the
case.
Gronkowski case um would have a big impact on us, hopefully in a good way. Um, and we'll let you guys know. But anything else you want to let these people know about, Lloyd? I know we
Oh,
was talk about the uh from the step, the meeting. Did we say that? Did we talk about the meeting that was supposed to be happening?
Yeah, we talked
And-
about they were supposed to meet quarterly, and if and then the last page of the STIP, it also said if the transit authority tries to do anything to file
Right,
a grievance, um, how do you file a grievance against yourself because you're allowing this? This is what you negotiated. And,
right.
again, at one of our meetings in Brooklyn, Mr. Kemp came and told us to file a grievance. How the hell does a retiree file a grievance? We're not active. It would hold no weight. You file a grievance. You're an officer. You should
Mm.
be filing a grievance if you really understand what
Right.
we're going through. See,
You can
this is another thing, as these union officers don't know what the hell they're doing. You know, they do not. You're playing with people's livelihoods sitting behind that desk. You know,
can an officer can an elected officer file a grievance on behalf of retiree?
in an instant like that, where you have an agreement and the transit authority is breaking the agreement, yes,
Mm.
because it was broad. It wasn't just for us. It was for the active members too.
Mm.
You
Right.
you let's say Aetna said they're not going to cover this or cover that. Okay, well let's go to United Healthcare, and they
Mm.
have to keep the same level of benefits.
Mm.
So I mean,
But they have to match it or make it better.
the same level. It has to be matched.
Right.
You can't diminish it.
Just can't diminish it. Right.
Right.
And like you were saying about the stip again, now we keep going, we're going way back, but it was written in there that they supposed to have quarterly meetings, and once Tucson got out, uh, they stopped showing up to the meetings.
Radio silence.
Right. It was supposed to be it was supposed to be what, the president?
The
There's four
president,
people, right?
yeah, the president. I think the top four and the president of not the president or the director of labor relations. I can't verbatim say who it is, but
Right.
they were supposed to have quarterly meetings.
There was four important people that were supposed to show up to these
Exactly.
meetings quarterly, and the minute Tucson got out, they stopped
Stop
showing up to
happening.
the meeting.
Just like the minute he left, it came tier six. And a lot
Right.
of people don't know that.
Right.
Because an uneducated member is the best member that Local 100 wants. Somebody that's
Mm-hmm.
not educated.
Mm-hmm. That's terrible.
So
So,
you, I don't know what else to say, man. I just like I said, guys, just try to get involved. Um, I'm at I'm at my wits end, but I'm going to hang in there until we get a decision. I'm hoping that it comes in our favor. If we got to appeal it, we'll appeal it. But
um,
it's been almost a year. June 10th will make a year that we had the oral arguments.
my computer froze.
Oh,
Oh man, not now. I should have left it alone.
I'm still
Come
here.
on, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still. Yeah, I'm
Can
here.
you see me?
Yeah, I can see you, but you're not. I can't see you talking. Keep in touch with me on city communities.
Let's hopefully it catches up. When I get back to the screen, I'll leave it alone. But it definitely started froze on me.
Oh shit! My daughter's on the phone.
Now they calling you.
Yeah, but I hang up. I'm gonna text her.
Oh man, I hope it don't log me out. I hope it don't log me out. Okay, no, I can't do that. Come on. Sorry guys, my computer froze on me. Just trying to get back to the screen. I can't control nothing.
No,
I can't control nothing. Oh no.
but people are commenting.
Yeah, okay. No, as long as you're still on the screen, I mean, I can't even see you. I have to look on my phone, but my phone is I can see you moving on my phone. But yeah. But I have no control over the controls right now because I'm not on the screen. Oh shit, this is bad.
Well, I mean, I could read some of the comments and
Yeah, if you got, yeah, I mean, you got,
Ron
yeah,
Springer. What did he say that shows weakness? And also, that shows
right.
weakness.
Ron says they show weakness on the union and the TA took advantage so they could save money. Yep.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened, Ron. That's exactly what happened. They knew that they weren't negotiators and they took advantage of them.
Yep. Yep.
And
My apologies, yo.
Cannon Wild says the union represents the TA.
There we go. I'm back.
There you go. You back.
Man, I ain't touching nothing. Even though I can't see myself on the screen, but oh well. Yeah, it's crazy. The union represent. I mean, that's what it feels like. You know, Cannon. The union represents TA. It's like they're no longer fighting for you guys. They're just fighting for putting money in their pocket. You know, I just don't get it. Y'all can see me. You can see me, Lord.
I can't see you no more. You froze up again.
Yeah, no, I'm up. Let me just put you on the spotlight, man, because my shit ain't. My shit is not
Put me
working.
on Front Street, man.
But yeah. All right, so listen. I think we got all the bases covered, right? I mean, I think the bottom line is that we need um more active members to get involved. This is
Please,
weird.
please, guys. If I mean, if you come to our meetings and you feel it don't concern you, but come get educated anyway. So you could take this back to your depots or whatever departments you work in. Like I said, I was an officer for 10 years. You know, I was with, I did, I think, believe 2 or 3 contracts. And most of the stuff that they think they know, or let me put it this way, I forgot more than what most of them officers know of,
Right.
you know? And that's the reason why they do not, I'm not their cup of tea, which I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's this.
So, and how are you doing fundraising? Sosa asked how I'm doing in fundraising. Sosa, we still need $30,000, brother,
There we go.
so that we could pay this guy. So we'll be ready. What we want to do, let me do this real fast. I see we got like 6 minutes left. What we
Hmm.
want to do, we want to file an evidentiary hearing. Blunt
Hmm.
was just saying that we need all affidavits. Now, if we do an evidentiary hearing, that means that we take all evidence to the judge. They said in their oral arguments that they do not have any denials or anything. Here's the proof that people are being denied. People are being, they have to wait for tests. So that's one of the reasons why we need all the affidavits and we need funds so that we can file an evidentiary hearing. That's just an evidentiary hearing. He has to make a decision on that, and we'll move on from there. So if you guys can, just donate $10, $15. Like I said, we need another maybe $40,000. It's slow. People are donating. Again, the people that are, I'm really thanking them for it. Uh, but sometimes we have overhead. We have to have make copies of stuff. Spend money on copies. We got to spend money if we go somewhere to talk
Yep.
to retirees. We even tried to. We were up in Pennsylvania, so I appreciate the donations. And if you need an affidavit, like I said, we got people that'll come to you.
Yeah. And those graphics cost money too. They ain't
Right,
free.
the graphics that my the one and only does.
They ain't free. But
That's
yeah,
right.
donation. Listen, donation.
That's right.
What you guys can do right now, like Judy, Cannon. So I already know Celso's already doing it. Um, Everybody who's watching, the best thing you could do right now is just share it amongst your coworkers. Just share this. Share this out. Let them know. Get the conversation going. Do you know what's happening with Medicare Advantage? Did you know what's happening? Did you know that they took you off of traditional Medicare, something that you paid into your whole life, and put you on to a for-profit Medicare management? Um, a lot of people going to say no, and you could just forward them to us. Tell them to join our Facebook group, TW100R. Tell them to join our YouTube, TW. Tell them to join our email, and ask questions. Or
Right.
if not, you can just call us. You got the numbers. You have the all the information on the screen right now. The link you go to TW100R.org.
Yes. Right.
Well, let me see. What did I put that up there? Yeah.
It's
There you go, right there. See the tick on the bottom. TW100R.org. You could get you could do both donations, and you could print out a copy of the affidavit and mail it out. If you're not sure how to fill out an affidavit, Miss Anita Clinton did a whole video instructing you on how to fill it out. There's two different versions. You pick the one you like. It's simple, but people still don't know how to fill out an affidavit. No, but
very simple.
yeah, Cannon. But listen, this is the problem that we're running into. Problem is, no one cares. No one cares until it affects them. That's the problem. That's why we want to get the conversation. That's why it's important for you, as somebody who has the knowledge now, is to get the conversation going. You don't have to prove anything to them. Just send them to us. We have all the proof they need. Simple as that. TW100R on Facebook. Then they could go to the YouTube page, watch some of the testimonies. Definitely watch what Tucson said about it, because a lot of this shit stems back to his era, right after he left office, and it just you just got to do it. You just got to start the conversation. It has to start somewhere. Yes, OGs have attitude. I don't care. It's not just the OTs. It's not just the OGs. It's a lot of the active members too. But you got a couple of OGs here that are trying to fight for the rights to at least get the option back. At least at the very minimum. Springer says they don't know. They don't. They think because a doctor sees them, they're getting quality health services.
Well, not not if you got Medicare Advantage. Uh, this show is not long enough for me to go into it.
It's not. But we again, listen, guys. We encourage everybody who's watching to join us. 12 noon, May 31st. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're in TW100R Facebook page, the link will be posted there because you can't. Facebook is blocking live stuff from going from our programs from using third parties to going in live into the Facebook. So the link will be posted there. I'll take you directly to the YouTube channel. It's going to be posted on my page also. But yeah, I encourage you, 12 noon, May 31st. Just come in and just listen. You don't have to say anything.
Right, mark that date on your calendar. The more, the merrier,
Yeah,
and it's just going to be very informative.
yeah, it should be. Well, listen, Lord, you come to the end of it. I appreciate you coming through. Everybody, listen, put your thumbs up. No, put your hearts up. Pete's he's probably still in the hospital. He got sick, so that's why he's not here. Everybody, send Pete your love. Hopefully, he'll be back next week or whatever. Lloyd, appreciate you coming through.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So everybody else, appreciate you watching. You need anything from the store? Why? It's like all three of y'all. But yeah, no, I appreciate you watching, man. That Pete can't say his ending, so I gotta do it. But that's the end of the show. And for Brooklyn Pete, I'm your boy Blunt, and fuck him if they can't take a joke. Later, y'all.
All right.
You're still here? it's over. Go home. Go.